A little bit about building the Reef and the Reef program and how that all transpired.
Yeah, so the Reef program is super interesting. So Bob Tiemann, who is a big educator out here on the East End, he's retired now. He's on our board. Bob has kind of worked tirelessly. Like, this man is a machine, with the DEC, with the trustees, to really find bottomlands around here where we can actually construct and build a reef. It sounds easy to say, hey, let's just build a reef, but it's not. It's taken years for Bob to get approvals. And then once he got approvals, he actually started putting plans in place with the town to work with the students of the high school. So East Hampton High School students really came out. We did a whole shell recycling program. We worked with the Billion Oyster Project, get shell from them. I think we got 11 yards actually from them, where Mickey's Carting out here actually helped us, went all the way over to Governor's Island with a huge garbage truck, got the shells out here. We had them dry in the sun for probably a year. The students really collectively worked, like, it was beautiful to see. Putting together hundreds and hundreds of bags with, biodegradable material that will house old shells. And then the students worked with Barley at the hatchery to get spat on those shells in the actual nursery. So they actually sat in there for a whole summer with the spat on there. And then in the fall of 2 years ago, right across on the other side of Accabonac, where we were earlier at that reef, that was the first reef that went up. And so it was a big day. We had the press here. It was really cool. Now, when you see the footage, you'll actually be able to see the old shell with all the spat, where there's actually adult oysters that are growing on there now. And so, for us, we just got approval on our 4th reef this year, a few weeks ago, in 3 Mile Harbor, right between the ramp and the marina. It's not going to disturb anything. And then we're going to have our 3rd reef in Accabonac. So it's super exciting. The kids have just been amazing, because it's almost like they've been like our local marine biologists, testing it, going in, looking at it, inspecting it, seeing the growth, talking to the town. The high school students actually that took part they were even pitching it to the trustees on why we need it. So these guys are the future generation of what we're trying to accomplish here.
And I think that's a good point. For those who don't know, why would you focus on building reefs?
So there's so many amazing benefits of why you should build a reef, right? One, it's creating a complete marine environment. So think crabs, seahorses, baby blackfish, any type of, juvenile fish that needs refuge, right? That's first and foremost. It's going to help with erosion. This area gets so much inundation during big nor'easters. I mean, Gerard Drive right here, a week ago, the Marine Corps and the government has spent so much money on that road over here to protect it. They've spent so much time. We actually haven't had any issues in years. This past storm, the surf was so strong with those northeast winds that rocks were kind of moving over that road. And so this gets flooded. And so the reefs themselves are going to help with erosion and protect the shorelines for the future. Obviously, sea level rises everywhere. So reefs are really important to keep this area intact. And then those reefs are also going to grow more oysters. So they keep growing on each other. They spawn, they release more, sperm and egg into the, marine column and get more oysters. And those reefs are not harvestable, right? So those are that are not for taking. They're meant for actually building real reefs.
And they become self-sustaining.
Yeah. New York Harbor, back in the day, it was all reefs. It was all oyster reefs. All of New York City was oyster reefs.
And I think that's a good point. Could you talk a little bit about what the water and harbors mean to the East End and why it's a unique body of water out here?
Yeah. So this water, as you can tell, it's cloudy today, but this water is so absolutely pristine. And where we are right now we are just on the inside of Gardiner's Bay. So this is Accabonac Harbor. There's an inlet right here that goes right out into Gardiner's Bay, where you can get to Block Island, Montauk, Sag Harbor, basically anywhere. And you get tons and tons of clean water coming into this harbor every single day with the tide coming in and out. We're on the very, very far east end of Long Island. So think about, New York City. We're 100 miles east of New York. And so you get the Gulf Stream that pushes up here in the summer, provides a ton of nutrients. You get the amount of, fish that we get here in the summer is incredible. You get tuna and marlin and wahoo and all sorts of pelagic species. So, this water here is the home of lots of fish that come, they're literally just spawning up here in the summer and then they're moving south. So striped bass and bluefish, fluke, they'll come in here in the summer. And so it's so important that this water is clean, because that's also fish that we're eating down the line. They're coming here to grow up. And then once the fall comes, they're all migrating back south.
And then, kind of what are your hopes for the future of the program and what you see coming down the line?
Yeah, I think for the future of what we're doing, so for the future of South Fork Sea Farmers, I think one of the biggest things that we're trying to accomplish is, one, obviously water clarity, right? But the marine stewardship is the most important thing. So we're providing scholarships now every single summer to kids in need who are going to college, especially on the East End. And so we're raising money so that we can give them the tools that they need to be the future generation of protecting this incredible body of water.